What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today I'm going to be sowing more seeds. I have some blank spaces in my garden, so I'm going to plant some seeds. My yellow straight neck squash gave up. I had some more melons and stuff planted that gave up. Squash bugs are in full swing, taking part out of my Okra squash, but I've spent like a half hour today squishing, picking off eggs, drowning them. So after I get these seeds sowed, I'm going to spray my garden and pick them by hand. I see some more adults out there after I went inside and got more seeds. So yeah, but it is what it is. I have what I thought was a melon growing is actually, I believe, an acorn squash. I said acorn squash. So these are the seeds that I know I can squeeze in at this time of year in August. My first frost date comes about the middle of October here in Zone 6B, Western Kentucky. I thought about trying to grow some more tomatoes, and then I thought, because I have pulled a couple tomato plants out and some of the plants just aren't being really productive right now. So I'll give a different video on my reviews of the tomato plants. But I'm going to be planting some bull's blood beets. These usually take about 50 days to harvest, 50 to 60 days. And I plan on pickling them. I'm going to try them roasted. I've never had roasted beets before, but other people in my family really love them. And if they're anything like roasted radishes or other roasted root crops like roasted carrots and stuff, then they're going to be delicious. So I'm going to set some aside for that. I may hold off on the beets since they're cold hardy and try to plant some okra. My Seed to Spoon app says I do not have time. My Farm Your Yard app says plant okra. So I'm going to try it. And I have some blank spaces in my green bean bed. So I'm going to be planting Blue Lake bush beans. I like to grow a variety of varieties. I have a purple pole bean variety called Blonde Hild. And the dragon tongue bush beans, and I will post pictures up here. Anyway, so let's get to sowing. The first area I'm going to focus on is my beans. I have a lot of these pole beans growing up the railing up there on the deck. Some of them have fell over and they're not climbing the chicken wire, so I'm going to try to help them along. Come on, fellers. Okay, there's that one. I don't know, we'll just let that one go. So I'm going to pull out some weeds. This bed hasn't really been weedy, but I've had this bed longer and I've been keeping up on the weedy. The L-shaped one that I just built not too long ago is pretty weedy. So I've been just coming out whenever I do come out, I just pull a couple weeds out of there at a time. That way I don't get overwhelmed. I do have Swiss chard and perpetual spinach growing in that bed. I don't have a lot of these seeds left, but I'm going to plant these out anyway. I can always fill in with dragon's tongue bush beans if I want. I got plenty of those seeds. So this middle pool bed here is the one I'm debating on. Do I plant okra or beets? I have a notion to go ahead and plant okra since it's been fairly warm this summer. Why not? And I have plenty of time to grow beets. I can even grow them well into the beginning of winter. So let's go ahead and try to plant some heavy hitter okra. Yeah, I usually don't save corn husks in my little scrap bucket to throw out into the garden, but the kids didn't know, and they were just trying to help out, and they put them in there, and I figured they're not going to hurt anything, so let them be. Okra needs to be sown 18 inches apart. And I saw on Facebook groups that I'm in, gardening Facebook groups, that people are just loving this heavy hitter okra. So I have another variety called Louisiana 16-inch long pod, but since I'm planting okra late in the season, I'd like to try the heavy hitter, try to get a decent harvest. I may not be able to freeze any or can any up, but you know, at least I'll be able to eat some fresh and not have to go to the store and buy some. So it looks like I have an acorn squash and the Gete Okasoman squash still left in this bed, which is a good thing. But I have plenty of space for sure to fill in with something. I'm gonna have to order more of these seeds next year. I'm planting 2 per hole and planting them about a ½ inch deep. Okay, so I have the little bitty pool left. I might as well go ahead and plant out my beet seeds in here. Weed it out. I'm not sure what this is. Oh, it is a living plant. I better leave that be. It's hard to tell which plant goes where until you follow the stems. But yeah, next year I'm going to have to work on a better method of keeping the weeds down in here. I might, if I can afford to, get some landscaping cover in the ground staples again, like I had in my South Bend garden. But I like how the squash also vines along and puts roots in the ground. I think that helps out with the squash bugs, just helping them get more nutrients and stuff, more life support. Oh, speaking of squash bugs, I see a whole family right here hanging out. Okay, be right back. Okay, so I got rid of them. They are now on a family vacation in the pond instead of picnicking on my squash leaves. So, try to get that set up in a decent spot. I tried giving one of the squash bugs to the chickens and they just left it. So, they don't seem to care about them. I've heard recently some people's chickens love to eat the squash bugs, but evidently mine stick their nose up at them. Maybe my chickens are spoiled. I don't know. They do eat a lot of tomato parts though. And bad squash if I have bad squash. Okay. So the seed depth on this is ½ inch again. The spacing is 4 to 6 inches apart. So I'm just going to plant two. Their seeds are weird looking. I don't know if I'm showing them right on camera or not because I don't have the screen faced my way. But I'm going to plant 2 per hole again. It's been really rainy lately. I've had a hard time coming out here to hunt squash bugs without getting soaked, so I'm a little behind. Plus I went to Texas. I went to Texarkana a few weeks ago. No, at the end of July. And I just sent people out here to water the garden for me. I didn't ask them to go squash bug hunting for me. That's quite the ask. Bull's blood beets are very high in vitamin A. So that's why I chose this variety this year. Last year I sowed Detroit Dark Red and they worked out great for me in my South Bend garden. Alright folks, so today I got all 3 varieties planted out that I wanted to plant out. And I killed some squash bugs, and now I'm going to water them in and hunt more squash bugs. I hope you enjoyed this video, and thanks for hanging out with me. And I love you, and so does Jesus. God bless.